next thing I want to do is I want to take a look at um, what's coming up for next week so that you can have this information for when you get started. Let me open up something here. I need to go to edit, and it's going to be simplifying linear equations. All right. And so I just want us to take a look at some of the basics of this because, it has been a while probably since some of you did these. So we take a look at this, right? Uh, and I have negative 8a plus 32 equals 72. So you got to keep in mind then that we're going to start with the 32 and subtract it, because what do we want? We want variables all on one side and constants on the other side. So here we're going to have 40. So negative 8a equals 40. So divide by negative 8. And we're dividing because we're multiplying by negative 8. So we do the opposite, right? Negative 8. So a equals negative 5, right? So pretty, it's a two-step equation, and most two-step equations are very similar to this. And keep in mind, you can check this negative 5, right? Negative 8 times negative 5 plus 32 is 72. Okay, so that checks out. So when I'm thinking about that, let me put that in. Now, when you're entering these answers next week, you don't put x equals or a equals or anything like that. You just put the answer. So that was negative 5. And then submit. Okay, and then that'll come up. And then you can go on to a new problem. So I'm going to do another one of these just to say I did. Maybe I'll see if they've got anything else for me. Not really. So what I'm going to go right here, I guess. So we have up here 77 plus 11y equals 99, right? And so we're going to subtract 77 from each side. Subtract 77. We get 11y equals 22, right? See that? And so divide by 11 on each side. And so we get y equals 2. Okay, and then take that, plug it back in, check it out, make sure it works. This one does. Okay. And so that's it. Each one of these is very similar. Remember, you work the number first, moving the number to one side or the other, and then then you divide with the coefficient that's on the variable next. Okay. If there's division going on already, you would multiply by that. Okay. So there you have it. Now let's take a look at one of the others here, and let me go back then. And so we're going to look at the three-step equations. Not much different from two-step equations, except there's more on one side than there was. So if I start with this one, negative 3x plus 5 equals negative 8x plus 10. So you're just gonna you're gonna get all the numbers, right? The constants over here, all your variables I'm going to put on the left side, and that's generally what I do. Sometimes I change it, but right now, which we're going to do. So, and don't get confused about some things. The first thing is we're subtracting 5, right? Subtracting 5. So we get negative 3x equals negative 8x plus 5. Okay. Now, you might be tempted to divide, right? But before you can do that, we need to get this, okay? We need this to be over here, okay? So we're going to, since we're dividing by negative 8, since we're subtracting 8x, right? We're subtracting 8x. We're going to add 8x. We're doing the opposite because we want this to be 0, and the only way to get it to be 0 is to add 8x after we've done the subtraction. So now we're adding 8x over here. So we get 5x equals 5, right? And so x equals 1. And then you can take that, plug it in to the original, make sure it works, right? Negative 3 times 1 plus 5 equals negative 8 times 1 plus 10, okay? So, well, this is negative 3 plus 5 is 2, right? Negative 8 plus 10 is also 2. So, so that's pretty good. So if we go over here and you just put 1 in and submit answer, say yes, and we're good. All right. So let's, we'll look at one more we take this, we take this and I have negative 2x minus 2 equals x minus 14. And so I either want negative 2 to move over here by adding 2 to both sides, or I want the negative 4 to move over there by adding, or negative 14 by adding 14 to both sides. And, it doesn't really matter. It's, if you just do it the same way every time, you won't get confused at all. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides of this, and I get negative 2x equals x minus 12, right? And then I'm going to divide. Not going to divide yet, right? I have to get this x moved over there by subtracting x, because you're going to do whatever it takes to make this 0. And so you subtract 1x and here. So over here I get negative 3x equals negative 12, right? And then divide by negative 3. And remember, dividing negative by a negative gives me a positive 4. So these steps, these are 3-step equations. All right. If you run into an issue, or actually you should take this 4 and plug it in, because you got to check and make sure it's right. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, minus 2 is negative 10. Okay. And over here, 4 minus 14 is negative 10. So they're equal, and that means we have the correct answer. So let's pop that in there really quick. 4. Yes. And that'll do it for this video. Be looking for some more coming from me regarding linear equations and division, or at least multiplication with fractions.